astrology is a tool, can we use it as a predictive astrology? Can we predict a future?
Astrologers not supposed to make predictions, and they're not supposed to tell people what to do. They're supposed to help the people to understand the process of how the universe works.
What is this difference between, if we are talking about Christianity, then people just see it as there is a differentiation between God. Either you talk about Jesus Christ. In Islam, they have a different set of beliefs. And when we talk about Hinduism, we have different deities. Different.
It's not Hindu. It's not Hindu, and it's not an ism. And it's not a religion. It's what I just said it was, and theirs is not. They don't have a language with a large vocabulary. They do not have the knowledge that I was just referring to. They're ignorant. They're blind faith only. They have no real understanding of who we are, and they think we live for one lifetime. In fact, they're abysmally ignorant and arrogant because they try to superimpose a one lifetime uneducated you on the world. And they've been trying to do that for years at gunpoint. The good news is the Vedas isn't taught at gunpoint. That's also not going to happen.
So can you give any example that if we talk about Islam and if we talk about Christianity?
Well, I don't need to tell you much about gunpoint with Islam. That's what they are. I call it I slam. I call them I slam all of you. Because they just pull their weapon out and say, we're right, you're wrong, do or die. One lifetime. Same thing for Christianity. That's where the Pope ended up. That's where everybody else ended up. Same thing. Colonized the world, stole everything at gunpoint. In the name of who? Jesus. I see. You mean that really nice guy, Jesus? He wanted to rob the world? Well, that's what you did. And and Judaism? Well, less than, but still the same. Same small-minded, same limited viewpoint, same no explanation for more than one lifetime. So they're all various degrees of sincere, which I always say. They have moments of sincerity and genuineness. So that also matters. But what they don't have is knowledge beyond their one little small, not very interesting book, which doesn't teach about time. So, Kalohismin, Brahmabhuta Prasanatma Nasochiti Nakangshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Para. It leads to a state of understanding of the person behind it all. And God doesn't mean that. There is no discussion of the person of the Supreme in the Bible, in Judaism, in Islam, none. But this is the basis of what? Purna Avatar. When that ultimate person, Sri Bhagavan, comes to earth, which happened 7,000 years ago and 14,000 years ago, from which we get the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. So, and the reason I'm saying it this way with you, which I really appreciate, and it is that this is what the world needs to hear gently, respectfully, when they're ready. So I never force people to hear this. I don't point my finger at them and tell them they're stupid. I just say, when you're ready, I'll give you another view. What kind of viewpoint? Mahatma. The big view. Well, you have the small view. That's nice you have a view, but it's small. It's one lifetime, a little bit this, a little bit this, a little bit this.
But Jeffrey, there are different negative characters in Hindu scriptures as well who try to impose their thoughts on people. If you take Ravan, if you take Kans, Shakuni is the one character, and there are many in Mahabharata. So how do you see these characters?
Well, I never said there weren't crazy, ugly, nasty people in the world. They're called Asura. And Sura, the word Sur is the root of Surya, the sun. So there are some humans who have decided to be in darkness, or some beings. They not even lose their humanity. They're just a being, and they're an asura. They're a monster. There are monsters that are here on our planet right now and at every time in history. And they just go around destroying everything, exploiting everything, sucking the life out of people. They're vampires, they're Frankensteins, they're monsters. Yeah, they are. And that is what the Mahabharata was about. And so it's a great question. In both books, the Ramayana, 14,000 years ago, and the Mahabharata, 7,000 years ago, which blows all the other one lifetime religions out of the water. First of all, they don't know anything about anything that long, but that's the historical, astrological dating of the Vedic culture. And so therefore, the people that won't listen to that are in blind faith religions, and they're blinded, so they don't listen. But if they pay attention, Jyotish can show them with astronomy the actual cycles of the grahas, of the planets. And those cycles of the planets are measurable, and we're in the midst of that measurable reality, which has been completely ignored by the Abrahamic religions.
All right. Okay. Since you have a great knowledge of astrology, Vedic astrology, can we see rebirth in our natal chart, in the Vedic chart? Or we can say Kundli?
Well, like your question about Rahu and Ketu, it's important. Rahu represents one possibility, which means you could become as materialistic as you possibly could, greedy, selfish, just about me, take. That's Rahu personified. So that's Rahu in matter. Or you could become Ketu and you could say, no, I don't care. No, I don't care what I own. No, all I need is a meal today and, a loincloth. I'm okay. So that's Ketu. So then there are two states. Greedy for matter and getting a big pile of it and trying to get as much as I can, Rahu. And this is a character. You know these people. I know these people. And then there's Ketu. Couldn't care less. Nope. No. Only needs one outfit or two. One's in the laundry. I'm wearing this one. That's Ketu. I don't need this. I don't need that. Not iti. So then that's two planets. So now if you have Ketu prominent in your chart, you're going to be the one who doesn't care and isn't attached to matter. And that's because you've worked on that in previous lifetimes and brought that Ketu in with you this lifetime. So now, which do I have stronger, Rahu or Ketu?
That's the question, I guess. Now, let me just...
I'll tell you what she just did. She's smart enough in astrology, and I actually have both sides of it strong. But
you tell me which one is more on the presentable side in my chart.
Yes.
And
I'll tell you something interesting. I actually made a full-time living for 7 years ridiculing technology and saying how crazy it was.